On May 5, 1910, in Edinburgh, Scotland, the Prince of Expositors, Alexander Maclaren, passed away. Though he died nearly a century and a quarter ago, his influence remains a cornerstone of biblical preaching. As noted in Haydn's Dictionary of Dates, his death marked the end of an era for nonconformist authority. Yet his written legacy was only beginning its global ascent. Born in Glasgow in 1826 and educated at Stepney College, Maclaren was defined by singular devotion to the biblical text. While his contemporaries often sought influence through political activism or theatrical oratory, Maclaren's power lay in linguistic precision. He famously refused to prepare a sermon without first wrestling with the original Hebrew and Greek. This allowed him to bypass the denominational biases of the 19th century, offering a cold, white light of clarity that felt both ancient and refreshingly modern. For 45 years, Maclaren occupied the pulpit at Union Chapel in Manchester. In this industrial heartland, he witnessed deep transformations within his congregation. He did not rely on social gimmicks. He believed that the systematic, clear explanation of Scripture was sufficient to sustain the modern soul. His ministry proved that intellectual rigor and spiritual warmth are not mutually exclusive. Under his care, a local church became a global center for biblical teaching. One of the most striking aspects of Maclaren's character was his profound humility. He was his own harshest critic, often retiring from the pulpit with the heavy sense that his sermons had fallen short of the gospel's glory. He once remarked, "The world takes a man at his own valuation until it finds him out, and then it takes him at its own." Maclaren valued himself as a mere student, yet posterity has found him out to be a giant. Today, his multi-volume Expositions of Holy Scripture is considered the gold standard for expository preaching, valued for its logical structure and its refusal to prioritize the preacher over the word. Maclaren's death in 1910 coincided with a shift in the religious landscape toward topical and social interest preaching. However, because Maclaren anchored his work in the unchanging text of the Bible rather than the fleeting spirit of the age, his voice never grew obsolete. He remains a model for anyone seeking to communicate truth with integrity. He proved that scholarship is a tool for service. Knowing the original languages isn't for academic pride, but for pastoral clarity. Consistency is power. A half-century of faithfulness in one location can move the world. Transparency is key. The preacher's goal is to be a clear window through which the light of truth can shine undimmed. Alexander Maclaren may have thought his work was inadequate, but history regards his sermons among the clearest and most transformative ever published. He remains the Prince of Expositors because he never stopped being a humble servant of the text.